Have you ever had that feeling that someone's watching you, even when you're completely alone? I never believed in that kind of paranoia until last summer. I was staying in my cousin's place, house sitting while he and his wife were away on a vacation. Quiet neighborhood, decent-sized house, end of the street. Nothing creepy until the second night. It was around 2:17 a.m. I remember that because I checked the time the moment I heard it, a soft knock on the window in the guest bedroom. Not loud, not urgent, just deliberate. I paused the YouTube video I was watching, took out one earbud, and sat still for a few seconds. Another knock, this time a little sharper. 3 taps, then silence. The window faced the backyard, and the motion light outside hadn't turned on. That light always came on when anything moved out there. Raccoon, wind, didn't matter. But this time, nothing. I tried to laugh it off, thinking maybe it was a tree branch or something dumb. But there were no trees near that side of the house. I went to the window slowly and peeked through the blinds. Nothing. Just my own pale reflection staring back at me. The yard was still. No wind, no movement, no sound. The next night, same time, another knock. This time, I didn't move. I just lay still, under the covers, listening. But what really sent the chill down my spine wasn't a knock. It was the quiet breathing I thought I heard. Just outside the window, like someone was standing there, waiting. I didn't sleep the rest of the night. Kept the lights on. But the thing is, I didn't tell anyone. Not because I wasn't scared, but because I didn't want to sound insane. I even left the blinds closed the whole next day like that would somehow help. Night 3. No knock this time. Just silence. But I woke up at 3:03 a.m., heart pounding. The blinds were open. I know I didn't open them. I sat up in bed and stared at the window. The lock was undone. I hadn't even touched the window since I got here. That was when I noticed a faint smudge on the glass, like a greasy fingerprint. Just one. The next morning, I checked the backyard for footprints, broken fence panels, anything. But the grass looked undisturbed. The only thing that stood out was the motion light. The bulb was shattered, like someone had smashed it from underneath. It wasn't like that before. I would have noticed. By now, every sound in the house felt louder. Every creak in the floorboards made me flinch. But I stayed, because I kept convincing myself I was being paranoid. Fourth night, I set my phone to record a time lapse facing the window, just to prove to myself that nothing weird was happening. I barely slept. In the morning, I reviewed the footage. For the first few hours, nothing. But then, at 2:59 a.m., a flicker. The blinds moved. They were closed, and then they weren't. A shape, a black blur, slid into the edge of the frame. No face, just a human shape standing outside, unmoving, watching, and then it slowly crouched, until it disappeared beneath the window frame. I want to leave that day, but I also felt stupid. I told myself it could have been a shadow, or a trick of the light. I deleted the video, but I kept the blinds shut, and I locked the window, double-checked it. That night, I didn't sleep in the guest bedroom. I slept on the couch in the living room. No windows near me. I turned on the TV, left a lamp on. Around 3:15 a.m., I heard something creak upstairs. Not a knock, not subtle, just floorboards, like someone walking from the guest bedroom to the hallway. But I was alone. I was supposed to be alone. I didn't move. I didn't even breathe. I just stared at the staircase, praying nothing would come down. I didn't hear another sound. No footsteps, no door creak, nothing. But the next morning, when I finally got the nerve to go upstairs, the guest room door was wide open, and on the bed, in the center of the perfectly made covers, was something that didn't belong to me, a photograph. It was old, faded, a picture of the backyard, from outside the house, with someone standing in the shadows beneath the window. Only, it wasn't a recent photo. It was dated July 1997, almost 30 years ago. I held that photo in my hand for a long time. The edges were soft, like it had been touched hundreds of times. But it wasn't mine, and it wasn't my cousin's. I called him that afternoon, trying not to sound hysterical. He swore he'd never seen it before, said they just bought the house a few months ago, didn't even know who lived there before. But someone did, and someone had stood outside that window. In 1997, just like they had now. That night, I locked every door and window, kept every light on. I didn't sleep. I sat on the couch, holding a kitchen knife like some horror movie cliche. But I had no shame anymore. Fear had turned me into something primal. And that's when I heard it again. Not a knock, not footsteps. This time it was humming. A child's voice, soft, melodic, coming from the guest room. My blood ran cold. Every instinct told me not to move, but I had to see. I crept up the stairs, each step creaking like it was crying out for attention. The door was slightly ajar, light from the hallway spilling across the floor. The room was empty, but the humming continued, and I realized it was coming from the closet. I stepped closer. The air felt colder here. I reached out, hand shaking, and pulled the door open. Nothing, just clothes, dust, stillness. But the humming had stopped, and that's what scared me the most. The silence that followed. It felt like something had noticed me. I slammed the door shut, turned, and that's when I saw it. Not in front of me, but in the mirror above the dresser. Something standing right behind me. Pale, smiling, eyes too wide, head slightly tilted, as if it didn't understand what it was looking at. When I spun around, nothing. I didn't sleep after that. Didn't eat. My skin felt like it didn't fit right. Every shadow stretched too long. Every reflection felt wrong. I even covered the mirrors. But that didn't stop the dreams. I started seeing it in my sleep. That same figure, crawling on the ceiling of the guest room, its head twisting, neck cracking as it stared directly at me. Sometimes it whispered my name. Sometimes it just pointed at the window. Always, it was smiling. 3 days before my cousin returned, I snapped, packed my things, didn't even shut the front door behind me. I booked a motel, left him a vague message about weird vibes. He laughed it off, said he'd been hearing weird noises since they moved in too. Thought it was squirrels. I didn't say anything else. I just begged him not to sleep in that room. He called me the next night, said he found something in the attic while looking for old boxes. An entire stack of photographs, all in the backyard, all from different years, all taken from inside the house. In every photo, there was the same figure, tall, pale, always standing beneath the guest room window. Except one photo, one from this year, had something different. It was taken from inside the guest room, from behind the blinds. The angle showed the figure closer this time, and in the reflection of the window, barely visible behind the figure, was me, standing inside, looking out. He asked if I'd taken it. I told him no, but I didn't have to. Deep down, we both knew what it meant. The thing outside the window, it wasn't just watching anymore. It was remembering, and somehow, now it remembered me.